Now we are going to see what are the chemical equations, how to write and balance it. What are the chemical equations? Suppose we have taken example of heating copper. While heating copper, this copper react with oxygen and it get converted into copper oxide. This is word equation. Copper plus oxygen heat, it gives copper oxide. So its symbolic representation Cu plus O2 gives CuO. Thus we have converted it into chemical equation, that is skeletal equation of the substances involved while chemical reactions. Now, writing a chemical equation for any chemical change. If we have taken when copper is heated, it reacts with oxygen from air and form copper oxide. In this, copper and oxygen are reactant and copper oxide which is formed, it is new substance called as product. Thus, the reactants are written at the left hand side and products are written at right hand side of the equation, and arrow is given in between reactant and product. This whole presentation is called as chemical equation. Thus, in between reactant we are separating it with the plus sign. They get mixed with each other, and here arrow is given for the transformation, means reactant are transformed into the product, and which things are required are heat energy. Suppose it needs catalyst in order to carry out this reaction. Thus reactant get mixed with each other due to heat and get converted into new substance called as copper oxide. Here there are changes in color. We have to write their physical states in order to make it more informative. Copper solid, oxygen gaseous, and copper oxide which is formed, it is also solid. So solid substances are shown with the small s, gaseous substance at G. If water is taken, it is liquid. Thus another example, potassium nitrate react with water in presence of heat gives potassium nitrite. Thus it forms aqueous solution, means when crystals or the powder of KNO3 is added with the water and this mixture is heated, we get its aqueous solution. So reaction between potassium nitrate and water to form potassium nitrate solution can be seen as, here potassium nitrate is solid, that is in powder, water is liquid which is taken in the beaker, and during this reaction in order to form its aqueous solution we have to add this powder into the beaker containing water. Thus we get solution of this potassium nitrate in water, that is called as aqueous solution. Now another example we can see, suppose edible oil we have taken, it is added with the hydrogen it is gaseous, edible oil is liquid, and fat which is occurred, that is solid in state. Thus edible oil react with hydrogen gas to form the fat. So fat is solid, it is shown by the letter S. Thus these are physical states of those all substances involved in chemical reaction. And heat is required to carry out this reaction and nickel as catalyst. Suppose zinc metal react with a solution of hydrochloric acid. It forms zinc chloride and evolution of the hydrogen gas takes place. The zinc is solid, hydrochloric acid, it is liquid, then zinc chloride which is formed in the form of the residue, and hydrogen, it is in gaseous state. So we can write their physical state as zinc chloride is formed, it is in aqueous state. Another example, copper powder, if it is kept open and in the evaporating dish we have taken, it react with the oxygen and get converted into copper oxide, that is Cu2O. Here which are reactant? The reactants are, here copper plus oxygen are the reactant and their number is shown here. Here at the product side, copper is 1 at reactant side 1, oxygen are 2 at reactant side and 1 at product side. Thus, here oxygen is unbalanced atom. We have to balance this reaction. In order to balance it, we have to count the number of atoms at reactant and product side. So what is balancing the chemical equation? It depends on the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass states that matter cannot be created or destroyed. Alright. Thus, if we will take total mass of the reactant always equal to total mass of the product, it may be 2 or many. Thus, we can find the law of conservation of mass according to which always total mass of the reactant and product while chemical reaction remain conserved. Now, balance equations. Now, experiment of ferrous sulfide and dilute sulfuric acid. If ferrous sulfide FeS react with sulfuric acid H2SO4, it gives ferrous sulfate and hydrogen sulfide gas. Is this equation balanced? So we have to count the number of atoms of the element at reactant and product side. Alright. So we have to write which atoms are involved. Iron Fe at LHS1 at RHS1. Sulfur LHS2 RHS2. Hydrogen 2 and oxygen at LHS 4 RHS 4. So which is unbalanced? No, all the atoms are balanced, that is number of atoms at LHS and RHS are equal. So the equation is balanced. Now we can see another examples also. Means how to balance these equations, we can write the steps involved in it. So step 1, when we want to balance any reaction, see, suppose sulfur dioxide react with H2S hydrogen sulfide gives sulfur and water. Now count the number of atoms at both sides. Sulfur 2 at LHS, 1 at RHS. Hydrogen 2 LHS and 2 at RHS. Oxygen, these are 2 at LHS and only 1 at RHS. So oxygen is here unbalanced as well as sulfur is unbalanced. So first we have to put the box around every compound in chemical reaction. This is step first. Second, we have seen the number of atoms at both sides. Third, now we have to go for the coefficient which atom is unbalanced in the given reaction. Now here in case of SO2, oxygen are 2 in H2O1. So we have to calculate this oxygen number at both sides and we have to make it equal. How to make it equal? Without changing the formula of substance or a compound. So we have to multiply this water molecule by 2 coefficient. After multiplying by 2, the number of oxygen atoms and hydrogen atoms now get changed. Here oxygen get balanced at both sides but hydrogen number it become 2 at LHS and 4 at RHS. So here again these hydrogen and sulfur remain unbalanced. Now, in order to balance this hydrogen and sulfur, hydrogen we have multiplied this H2O by 2, but in case of H2S here only 2 hydrogens are present, therefore we can multiply H2S by 2 so that number of hydrogen atom at reactant and product will become 4. In order to make it 4, H2S we should multiply it by 2 coefficient. After multiplying we get number of hydrogen in H2S 4, due to which number of sulfur become 2 plus 1 from SO2. In this way, at reactant side number of sulfur atom become 3 and at product side it is only 1. So next step for balancing is that we have to go with unbalanced sulfur atom. In order to make it 3, at right hand side sulfur should be multiplied with 3 coefficient. In this way we can equalize the sulfur atom at LHS and RHS as number 3. Thus, in this step, we can count the number of atoms of different element at reactant and product side. So, step 6. Count the number of sulfur, 3 LHS, 3 at the RHS, hydrogen 4, 4 and oxygen 2, 2. So in this reaction is balanced now. Now we have to make it more informative, and that is step 7. In step 7, we have to write their physical states of reactant and product. Thus, SO2 is gaseous at room temperature, hydrogen sulfide is also gaseous, and when it transforms into the sulfur it is solid, and H2O it is in gaseous state. Actually at room temperature this H2O is liquid. Thus this reaction has become more informative. Now second reaction, barium chloride when react with sulfuric acid gives barium sulfate and hydrochloric acid. If it is in gaseous state, it is called as hydrogen chloride. So count the number of atoms of BaCl, H, S and O. Barium, LHS1, RHS1, chlorine, 2 at reactant, 1 at product, hydrogen, 2 at reactant, 1 at product side. Now sulfur, both places 1 atom, and oxygen at both side reactant and product side 4. So we have to see the next step, that is the number of atoms present at both sides, then with the unbalanced, which is unbalanced atom with maximum number of atom. So compound with maximum number of atom is sulfuric acid, where hydrogen are 2 and in HCl at the product side 1. In order to make it balance, we have to multiply this HCl by 2 coefficient. When we are multiplying, it become hydrogen means 2, 2 at both sides. Now we have to go for the next step and check the number of atoms at both sides. Now check it again. Which atom is not balanced here? So chlorine atoms, these are 2, 2, hydrogen 2, 2, sulfur 1, 1, oxygen 4, 4. Thus all the atoms are balanced in the given chemical reaction. Here we can say that equation is balanced, but we have to make it more informative by adding their physical states. Now next reaction, heating of copper. If copper is heated, then it reacts with oxygen and get converted into copper oxide. Is this reaction balanced? So now check it, the number of atoms at reactant and product side. Copper 1 at both sides, but oxygen 2 at reactant and 1 at product side. Thus, we have to choose the compound containing maximum number of atoms. So oxygen here, it is unbalanced. If we multiply CO by 2, then we get number of oxygen atom at reactant and product side 2. Because of that, the copper number also become 2. So we have multiply copper also by 2. Thus, count the number of atoms at both sides. They have become equal, copper and oxygen. Therefore, this reaction we can say it is balanced. Now we have to write their physical states. You can write it. Next, steps involved in balancing chemical reaction. You can take one more example, that is sucrose. When react with water, it gives means two molecules of, one is glucose, one is fructose. Both have same molecular formula. Sucrose C12H22O11, it is added in the water, it is heated, we get two molecules, that is glucose and fructose. Thus, sucrose and water are here reactant and glucose and fructose are here product. These are written at right hand side. Thus, we can